you slice it. In my mind, this was the most successful season in Sounders history. The domestic double, obviously something that is very rare. But you know, starting way back in preseason, it felt like this group was going to be special. Some of the new players coming in, certainly not limited to these guys, but you know, a guy like Stefan Fry, who comes and solidifies himself as the starting keeper, plays a great season for us, gets better, and probably the player of the playoffs for us. Chad Marshall coming in and dominating at center back. Gonzalo Pineda coming in, being a fantastic leader for us on the field, also great in the clubhouse. Marco Papa, a very special, gifted player who added a ton of flair and creativity to our team. So there are a lot of others that played their roles, but those four coming into preseason to have assimilated and helped us to the successes this year was a nice way to start the year. 20 wins, which is the record for the modern era of MLS post shootout era. So again, a huge accomplishment. 65 goals. We've always talked about wanting to be an attacking, aggressive, creative goal-scoring team. 65 goals, a testament to that. An Open Cup win on the road in Philadelphia. Tough conditions. Just a fantastic performance by the team. Obviously, we'd have loved to have won the coin flip. I think that was your doing, Henderson. Lost the coin flip, but to win that on the road, another special way of winning a trophy, winning a championship. Obviously, the Supporters Shield, being able to go to LA, grind out a 2-2 draw, and then come home. The great performance by Marco Papa at the end of the game to win the game for us. Just a really special moment, and for me personally, probably the best accomplishment for the Sounders. I truly believe that we were the best team in Major League Soccer in 2014. And even into the playoffs, the semifinal or the Western Conference Finals, we played the Galaxy toe-to-toe. There was nothing between the teams in my mind. It's a cruel game. Sometimes you get the bounces, sometimes you don't. But I guess the disappointment is that potentially there could have been a bit of the changing of the guard there. I think we would have all loved to have been able to come out of that series and say, okay, the Galaxy reign is over. But we certainly feel like we are every bit the equal in terms of an organization and a team on the field. Some, individual accomplishments: Chad Marshall winning Defender of the Year, Chad Anoba being on the best 11, and as far as I'm concerned, the voting was improperly counted. In my mind, Ziggy Schmidt is the Coach of the Year in MLS. Western Conference, far more difficult conference than the East. I don't care what anybody says. And quite frankly, our league in many ways is designed so that if you suck as a team, it's easier to become better. It's very hard to take a good team and make it a special team. And I think that takes a really special coaching year and performance to do that. So as a consequence of that, a segue, I am very excited and happy today to announce that we've signed a multi-year deal with Ziggy. Ziggy will be around for the foreseeable future. We're very happy to have him as a coach. I've said it many times, not only a fantastic coach, but a fantastic person, fantastic human being, great person in the community, and someone I'm proud to call a friend of mine. So again, Ziggy locked up. The rest of the coaching staff that maybe Ziggy will touch on We're very confident in the organization and the infrastructure that we have to be a solid and championship team for years to come. I don't often sort of meander into the business side, but since I've got the opportunity, I'll say a few words about the business. It was definitely an interesting year for us. We transitioned at the end of April from a business operations group in Renton to our own independent group in Pioneer Square, just down the street. Very proud of the group that did that, moved over. It wasn't without bumps in the road, wasn't without our challenges. Most importantly for us, we feel like it was relatively seamless for our fans. That was the whole goal, is to make sure our fans didn't realize that we were moving out of the VMAC in Renton and over to Pioneer Square. We think we accomplished that, and we've got our feet under us, and we feel like we're starting to fire on all cylinders as a business. And I'm highly confident that our organization is going to continue to maybe forgive the phrase, kick ass in the future, and be a juggernaut in terms of what we do off the field. That includes tickets. Another season with just under 44,000 fans a game, 107th consecutive sellout above capacity. TV ratings up 32% for the year, which is tremendous. Including the most watched game in Sounders history locally on this past Sunday. I've seen a rating that was somewhere between 4.8 and 5.1 locally, which is a tremendous TV rating. Corporate support has never been stronger. Our main sponsors stay with us, and we're signing up new sponsors who understand the value of our brand and the association. And part of that value and association is because of what we do in the community. Whether it's, quite frankly, our front office who may go work at a soup kitchen or do good things in the neighborhood, to our players who are out there day in, day out, being great stewards. The Xander Bailey Make-A-Wish Foundation event, which was such a great thing for our organization, our community partners that we continue to support. We launched S2, huge accomplishment this year, and sometimes it seems like you just send a press release out and now we have this second team, but I assure you there's a ton of work that goes on behind the scenes to get that ready for prime time. I think we're pushing 1,000 season tickets, and I don't believe we've gone on sale yet to our season ticket base. The supporters trust that's associated with that, the fact that our fans are going to own part of that team, and I guess most importantly, it is going to be a tremendous opportunity for our young players to show what they can do and develop for the future. Youth development, again, sort of segueing into something that we continue to focus enormous amounts of time, energy, and money on. The fruits of that labor hopefully come in the form of players like Victor Mansouré, who we just signed, and who will start with the team in preseason in January. Again, I'm sure Victor would like to play in the MLS team and be on the 18 or the starting 11, but if he's not, we've got S2 where he can get games and develop. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this is also a bit of a sad time of the year for us. We like to think of our organization as a family, and this time of year, some of the family leaves town either temporarily or permanently. I'm sure most of you saw, we sent a press release out with players whose contracts have not been extended or whose options have not been taken up. That doesn't necessarily mean they won't be with us, but there are some of them who will not be with us next year. Some may retire, some may be considering retiring, some may end up on different teams. Some may end up on S2 or in other leagues around the country or around the world. But either way, we spend a lot of time together, and we've become very close. And so and we're all human. And I know they're sort of professional athletes, but for us, they're our colleagues and our friends, and so it's it's never fun to see those relationships end. And specifically, because I assume it'll be asked, one of those special relationships is DeAndre Yedlin. DeAndre, I wouldn't say it's 100% at this point, but it seems highly likely that DeAndre will get a work permit to be able to play in England. He's anticipated to be heading over to Tottenham middle to end of December. And we thank DeAndre for his service to the Sounders from the academy all the way up through the first team. But we also, of course, wish him the best of luck. We hope that he goes there, works his butt off, and finds his way into the squad at Tottenham and makes our organization, makes himself, makes the fans of Seattle proud. The future is very bright for our team. I'm not sure maybe I'm jinxing myself, but we're very confident going into next year. We have a core of fantastic players. Chris, Kurt Schmidt, that group has done a tremendous job in the last 6 months, because our scouting for 2015 starts in 2014. They've done a great job scouring the globe. We've got a lot of players on our radar who potentially we think could come in and help us. We're taking our time. We're going to make sure we get it right, but we're highly confident that if we lose players here and there, expansion draft, that we're in a good place to replace those players. Allocation money, which is kind of that mysterious currency that allows us to buy down our salary cap or acquire players. We're in very good shape in terms of allocation money, and I don't think the last time I was able to say that was maybe when we were an expansion team, because as an expansion team you're given a lot of allocation money. So again, it just helps us to manage the squad. And development, just the continued focus on development. We're heading towards spending $3 million plus per year on development, when you include S2. We will continue to put all the resources necessary into developing young local players who ultimately will be able to help us on the first team. And certainly Ezra's move from assistant coach on the first team to head coach of S2 is a huge step in that direction. So again, very happy about this last season. Certainly could have been slightly changed. We could be preparing for a game on Sunday. But all in all, just a tremendous year, very gratifying, and we're very excited about next year as well.